Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so very much for spending some time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be my group weekly reading for the week of June 28th through to July 4th. We seem to be in this kind of weird, funky holding pattern. The energies are still pretty challenging to deal with. On the 25th of June, we did have Venus go out of retrograde. However, the 23rd of June, Neptune went into retrograde, which is compounded by the fact that we're currently in the zodiac sign Cancer, which is an intuitive, empathic sign. So we're really kind of being impacted and pushed and pulled by what's happening astrologically, and then we also have what's happening globally. There's still a lot of fear, anger, and heartache. This week I wanted to focus in on that positive, trying to stay in the high vibration as much as we can to overcome the challenges that we're going to face on an individual level, so that in the long run we feel stronger and more able to support everyone else with that global struggle. The decks I chose this week, I went with the Everyday Witch Tarot and Oracle combination. I wanted a light, happy, and bright deck, and I couldn't think of a better combination to try and help us out of some of these everyday struggles. The selections I have for you guys this week, I went with the Clear Quartz, the Picture Light, and then the Tiger Iron. So what I want you to do is choose whichever crystal resonates with you the most right now. And then I want you to go into the description box below and click on the correlating timestamp to the crystal. That will take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello and welcome, my Clear Quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the Oracle and the Tarot cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the cards have to say for you guys this week. What does the week of June 28th through to the 4th look like for my Clear Quartz friends? Seasonal harvest. That growth is occurring. Now, some of us may feel that that growth is taking forever. Things are unfolding so slowly. And they're meant to. Things are unfolding as they need. We as a species, humanity, doesn't tend to do well with delayed gratification. We want things now, and we want things fast. This week is about exploring and reflecting what changes and shifts have occurred and how you can continue to nurture and allow them to grow. Give in to passion. And that, my friend, just answered your riddle of the week. How do you make things grow? Give in to your passion. That light, that love, that high vibrational energy that brings us joy. That is the best way to help yourself grow and evolve. Giving into that passion, allowing that radiant energy to spur on the growth that you're looking for. Let's see how this is going to unfold this week. What does the beginning of the week look like for my Clear Quartz friends? The Nine of Pentacles. Nines are about all your hard work, all that you've achieved in this time frame, your lifetime. That abundance builds on each other. When we focus in on that abundance, we can truly see that garden for what it is. We can see our skills, our talents, and how they've supported us and encouraged different opportunities and different sources of abundance in our lives. That reflection is key. Without reflection, we can't see what's happening. The beginning of the week is going to offer you some opportunities to really get down and get into that garden. Get your hands dirty and reflect on this amazing Eden that you have within yourself. What about the middle of the week? What does the middle of the week look like for my clear quartz friends? The Seven of Wands. Now, sevens can be a bit of a challenging number. However, they're a lucky number. When we start to work at things, that's when we start to see that victory. We can see ourselves succeeding in what it is we're trying to overcome. The Seven of Wands talks about not backing down, no matter what we're facing. During reflections, we usually come up with some ego resistance, because your ego doesn't like to reflect, it doesn't like to expand. That reflection causes more expansion and growth and evolution. And those are scary to your ego. Your ego is going to shove you back. It's going to bring up those fears, those heartaches, those challenges. It's about tapping into that inner fire, that inner gur, your solar plexus energy, and not backing down. Because this reflection is going to help with understanding what progression you've already made and how you can continue on with these small, steady steps. We may feel like we're not getting anywhere. However, we haven't looked behind us. That reflection on all that we've achieved and all that we've overcome is going to support us in understanding all that we've done, because we're not being as mindful to all those abundant aspects that we have in our lives. And what about the end of the week? What does the end of the week bring, my clear quartz friends? The Three of Wands. Now, threes are about expression and growth. That wand, again, that passion. Now, the Three of Wands is a movement card. It jumps right off the Two of Wands, which is that decision-making card. The Three of Wands sees action to that decision. This reflection is going to act as that decision. It's time to get going. This reflection is going to really invigorate this passion, which is going to drive you forward. A little reflection is going to take you a long way this week. Taking that time for self, looking at all that you've accomplished will inspire even more. Your ego is going to give you that resistance. Your ego doesn't want more of this, and it for sure does not want more movement. Let's look at the challenge of the week. What challenge will my clear quartz friends face from June 28th to July 4th? The Five of Wands. Fives in tarot are always conflictual. They talk about that resistance, that challenge. We're still in that wand, that passion-centered space. One of the challenges, and yes, I said it's going to give you resistance, is going to be your ego. It's not even the resistance that's going to be the hardest part. That fear regarding change. The hardest part of this week is going to be that negative self-talk. Your ego spurs it on and fans that flame of uncertainty and disconnection you have with yourself. And that's going to compound. And it's literally going to feel like that cauldron is bubbling because you're going to feel very uncertain and unsure of yourself. That uncertainty causes stagnation, especially in the movement, because we fear that failure piece. What if I don't succeed? You're not able to fully connect into all that you've achieved because you talk yourself out of it. Everybody does that. That's ridiculous. What does you mean that's a shift? We need to be very open to all the changes and all the shifting that you've done. Those baby steps can't be undermined because then you lose that luster, you lose that connection, and you lose out on that growth. The Nine of Cups. It's the second abundance card that occurs in the deck. We know we have to look at that abundance piece, because if we start to build off that high vibration, that's when we can gain more, because we're continuing in that high vibration. Like I said before, your ego is going to question everything, causing uncertainty and fear. It's going to feel like you're turning your back on that abundance, minimizing those amazing little steps forward. Even the tiniest step forward is progression. Takes a while. However, a tree doesn't grow overnight. We need to make sure that the steps we're taking are sustainable for you. Big leaps and bounds usually cause crashing and burning because we don't have that foundation and that stability to maintain those shifts. When things start to get a little bit rocky, that's when we revert back to what is quote-unquote safe. And you see a lot of those amazing steps crumbling because they don't have that structure. So let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my clear quartz friends embrace for the beginning of the week? Follow your dreams. Follow that abundance. Keep your eye high in the sky on that positive. That questioning and uncertainty is going to cause that stagnation. We want to shoot for the stars. We want to aim high. Those exciting new opportunities are just outside that door. It's now time to open it and go forward. What about the middle of the week? What blessing can my clear quartz friends embrace at the middle of the week? Prosperity and abundance. We're starting to see big patterns here. You have all the abundance cards pretty much on the deck. You've got that prosperity, that focusing in on the positive. Yeah, we're going to have our ego battle us. It's not the first time, won't be the last. Taking that time, no matter what resistance we get from our ego, and celebrating, whether you choose to have a glass of wine, that's up to you. But celebrating all that abundance, no matter how small you may feel it. Some of those smallest steps that we took were during such trying times. That small, snail-like movement still got you over that challenge, that obstacle. Those are the ones we need to celebrate the most. We continue to evolve even in a time of adversity. What about the end of the week? What blessing can my clear quartz friends embrace at the end of the week? The sun and stars. Like I said, shoot for the stars, my friends. Aim high. The sun and stars talks about that balance. The balance of light and dark, warmth and cool. That balance is going to be key. So is that moderation. Can't get over our heads and start to celebrate too much. We do want to highlight those important pieces, but we do need to balance it out and make sure that we have that momentum and movement forward. It's one thing to reflect on and celebrate all that we've achieved. It's a fantastic feeling. At the same time, if we get stuck here, we're never going to get that movement forward. Like I said, there's more awaiting you. You just have to open that door. Opening that door is another step forward. So, making sure we have that balance and we keep our head held high. We keep our eye on the prize. Keep focused at what's truly important, not allowing that easy distraction to come up and slow us down. Alright, let's go on to the final piece here. Any further insight and wisdom that we can share with my clear quartz friends for overcoming the challenges and embracing the messages of the week of June 28th through to July 4th. That's Six of Pentacles. Six is about balance and harmony. That pentacle about growth and abundance. The Six of Pentacles encourages us not only to keep that balance in check, but ensure that we're sharing our energies and our resources to all aspects of our lives, to everything that is important to us. And as a little side note here, I just said that yes, we want to share that energy equally among those important aspects. We do need to make some choices here. We can't just allow our energy to bleed out to everything else other than what's really at hand here. That can be another way the ego comes in going, oh, we need to share our energy and our love everywhere, leaving you depleted and exhausted. You have to remember that balance includes ourselves and what we're trying to achieve right now. The Ace of Wands. Now, aces are a gift. That wand, that inner passion. The Ace of Wands always reminds me of that match striking and erupting. Those moments of inspiration that burn bright within us. That connection to our intuitive creativity that drives and inspires us forward. Helps to declutter things and bring in what's right in front of us and where we need to direct that energy. making sure we have that in that balance. But those epiphany, eureka, oh my God moments are essential. Helps us gain a little bit more connection to that higher source, and it really brings in that fulfillment into your passions and, of course, into your everyday. The High Priestess, the second card in the Major Arcana. She's our gatekeeper. The gatekeeper to higher knowledge, and of course, that connection in and use of our clairs. Like I just said, that intuitional creativity, which is brought on especially by this very intuitive card of the High Priestess, is going to take us a long ways. We're in the zodiac sign of Cancer, which is an intuitive sign, that water sign that is connected in to our empathic and intuitive skills. We have a great opportunity to ignite and invigorate this passion center we have, because that passion is what brings us the joy and the fulfillment we're looking for. Now, before I forget, we do obviously have that double 9. In angel messages, when you have that double 9, the angels are telling you that this is a time to work on your life's purpose, that soul's deeper purpose. And when you're doing that, it's very imperative that you have that compassion to self. As we've established, our ego and ourselves can be brutally cruel to ourselves. This life's purpose can be hard, can be uncertain, can be challenging, which brings up those fears and that uncertainty of self. Having that time of compassion goes a long way in being able to connect in to where we need to go, especially as we're really not sure or very clear on where that direction or path is going to lead us. Following that passion will take us to where we need to go. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending some time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings and healings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my clear quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my picture stone friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the Oracle and the Tarot cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week is going to offer you guys. What can my picture stone friends expect in the week of June 28th through to July 4th? Affirmation for healing the heart. This week is going to offer you those opportunities to make some headway on that healing. We carry a lot of that pain and a lot of that trauma from our current lifetime, past lifetimes, generational lifetimes in our heart center, because they are connected to fear and heartache, which is pretty much based all in that heart center. Your heart chakra is needing a lot of love right now. And you're not alone, because it's the majority of humanity is carrying stuff heavy on their heart, heavy on their shoulders. This week is going to offer you that opportunity to start to take some of that off. Crack a bit of that armor, feel a little bit lighter, feel tremendously stronger and more able to take on those challenges and obstacles that are going to arise or are right in front of you. Give love. When we're in pain or we're working on that healing aspect, it's really easy to lash out. Similar to that of when we hurt ourselves, we recoil. We don't want people to see us in that vulnerable state. We prefer people to see us strong, happy, and healthy. We can't and shouldn't be trying to do this alone. Having the courage and determination to be able to embrace and share love with individuals that are there for your greater good, that are there for you no matter what. See that light and positivity within you even when you cannot. Sharing in that light and that love will go a long way in your healing process and the healing process of those involved. Sharing in love is a balanced piece. Both parties are giving equally. They are sharing in it together. And that balance is going to be essential. It's that balance that helps give that strength and that stability to what it is you're trying to achieve. So let's look at how this week is going to look for you guys. What does the beginning of the week look like for my picture stone friends? The Three of Wands, that movement. Threes are about expression and growth. That wand, that passion, that courage, that determination, that inner flame. We're going to need it this week. Like I said, we don't like to be seen as vulnerable. We don't like to get to that vulnerable point. Sitting with and being okay with that vulnerability will go a long way in your journey, helping you strengthen yourself and inspire individuals around you so that they too will continue on their journey, embracing what it is they need to do and sharing in that vulnerability with you. What about the middle of the week? What does the middle of the week bring? My picture stone friends. The Seven of Wands. Sevens are a challenging number. However, they're a lucky number. It means they're victorious. With some hard work and determination on your part, you will conquer and be victorious over that challenge. The Seven of Wands talks about not giving up, not backing down, standing up for what you believe in, and taking on that challenge. That challenge isn't going to be an external fight. It's going to be that internal one. Your ego will hate this. Healing? Oh, not a word your ego likes. Healing means shifting, means moving forward. Forgiving self. Releasing what's holding you back. That healing and that vulnerability is going to be very evident in the beginning of the week. The beginning of the week gives you those opportunities and those energies to embrace self, taking that time to heal yourself. The middle of the week, that healing is going to start to aggravate your ego. Enough's enough, your ego is going to think, there's not that much healing. Said no one ever, except your ego. We have lifetimes of healing to do, my friends. Will we do it all in this lifetime? Probably not. And that's okay. Healing what we can, when we can, will help us feel stronger and more able to take on whatever we need. That healing is nurturing, loving, and accepting self. I have a whole series of videos, and I don't have enough time to keep up with the Archangel demand of what meditations they want to do next. Because the one thing I keep getting over and over again is how we need to take accountability and responsibility for our healing. Yes, sometimes we need that support, that external support in our healing. However, similar to that of going to any medical professional, they give you a prescription or they give you exercises to do. You're going to have to do some of this at home. You can't have other people trying to do it for you. It's got to be that balance. Yes, you can rely on and use someone's shoulder to cry on. They're supporting you. That balance. Because when the time comes, you can support them. So it's up to us to take ownership of that healing for our greater and best good. So what about the end of the week? What does the end of the week bring, my picture stone friends? The Eight of Pentacles, the attention to detail card. And it's going to be those attention to details that are going to help you gain more insight, direction, and wisdom. Slowing down and being open to new directions, new insight on how to move forward for yourself. Those high vibrational beings are going to have new ideas, new opportunities for us. Paying attention and paying close attention to that detail. Slowing down and being open to those messages will go a long way in giving us direction on how we need to move forward. This healing process happens throughout the entire week. It's not just at the beginning of the week. It's something that's going to keep occurring throughout the entirety of this week. Setting those intentions and nurturing and loving ourselves is the name of the game this week. What is the challenge that my picture stone friends are going to face for the week of June 28th through to the 4th? The Ten of Cups. It's a family card. I don't know about you, but anytime I have a week of where I need to focus in on me, whether it be for gaining more insight, having a big download, healing self, that's when everybody else has stuff that comes up and they need my attention right now. Our family and friends don't mean to do this. It's not intentional. Their needs, their journey is theirs. It's going to be about balancing things out. We don't want to be focused in 24/7 on that healing. We'll feel really kind of blah and gross after a while. Doing short pieces of healing, allowing your body to restabilize, and then moving on to the next piece. Adding in some play and creativity will help balance out some of those lower vibrational energies. Anytime we heal ourselves, we're looking at a time where energies start to move and we have to clear them out. So doing short bursts helps to kind of shake out the cobwebs, shake out that low vibrational energy that isn't serving us, allowing our body to kind of take control and regain an equilibrium so that you can do it again. Remembering this week, and this just came to my head as we're starting to shake, rattle, and roll, you need to drink a lot of water this week. Anytime we look at that healing process, we want to flush our body out. Flushing our body with cool, clean water will go a long way in making you feel stronger this week, stronger throughout the healing processes that you want to do. My recommendation is we've got that demand and need from our family. It's about that balance. We want to make sure we're there for them just as they're there for us. That balance is key. Scheduling in time for ourselves, scheduling in time for them. So that way, both aspects are cared for and maintained throughout this week of healing and purging and moving forward. Then we have the Lovers, the 6th card in the Major Arcana. And we do have a lot of this duality here, that connection. Another piece that we have that can get in the way is that love connection, or that need for love. Yes, having that significant other is fantastic. Your soulmate, wonderful. However, again, it comes down to balance. Ensuring that you schedule in that time with them or for the search of them and your needs. Like I said, your ego is not going to be happy. It's not going to like this because we're looking at purging, shifting, and moving forward. And movement and healing are 2 words your ego hates. Using the time really creatively and to your and your partner's greater good, or potential partner's greater good. Remember, the more we work on and clear out some of this lower vibrational energy, some of this gunk and stuckness, the higher our vibration becomes. So if you are looking for your soulmate, that high vibrational signature will be like a beacon in the darkness to them. Helps attract them to you. Just as you're looking for and searching for that energy signature, they are doing the same. So working on self goes a long way in that connection. Additionally, if you have and are lucky enough to be connected in with your soulmate, working on and healing yourself goes a long way in strengthening and connecting in on a deeper level with that individual. Let's go into some blessings. What blessing can my picture stone friends embrace the beginning of the week? Seasonal harvest. Part of that healing can be in reflecting in to all your accomplishments. As a species, we hate delayed gratification. We want it here, we want it now. Going in and reflecting on things, reflecting on how much movement and progression you've made. I encourage people to take small steps. They're sustainable because you have that foundation behind them and below them. However, sometimes you feel like you're getting nowhere. sitting down and taking that time to looking at those small shifts, those changes that you've made. Connecting into them helps to amplify that healing and will help you see which part of that beautiful garden that's deep within yourself needs tending most, where that healing needs to be directed. What about the middle of the week? What blessing can my picture stone friends embrace in the middle of the week? Air Magic. I love this card. It's a beautiful card. Air Magic talks about that knowledge. We have knowledge on how to heal ourselves. We may not know how to access that knowledge. However, we know we've been working hard on ourselves. And not being hard on ourselves. We've been working hard and improving ourselves. Making shifts, making little steps and progressions forward. Using that knowledge of the past, using those supports and resources that you currently have, whether that be someone that you're very closely connected to, or someone like me who's a crazy lady that you've probably never physically met, however, is sharing her talents and skills with you for the greater good, for your greater good. That is a connection. May not be as close as that best friend, but connections are made relying on their wisdom, their insight, and their skills. Making sure that it resonates with you though. Everybody is down a different path. They will intertwine and run parallel at times together. However, what one person is doing may not be resonating or work for another. Being critical of the advice that everybody has for you, making sure that it hits home, making sure it has that balanced, loving energy, and that it's going to help with that release, that healing. Can it and will it cause some sadness and tears? Sure. You're healing your heart. You're healing that pain. That pain is raw. It's real. Releasing it, learning from it, and allowing that to grow in your garden. Not the pain, but that knowledge. Overcoming that challenge, releasing the pain, the heartache, the fear attached to whatever situation, person, episode that has brought it to you. Learning from that situation, event, and moving forward. Whether it be a beautiful plant that it turns into because you can see how strong and amazing you are, or if it just happens to be a little pebble, that pebble that will remind you of how, yes, it did catch you up, but you were able to move forward. You were able to grow from it. And what about the end of the week? What blessing can my picture stone friends embrace at the end of the week? Accept love. Key themes that I keep seeing here: love, growth, healing. They're all intertwined. Loving ourselves, loving others, being open to that growth, being open to new and unique possibilities that are in our greater good. When we start to work on that healing of our heart, a lot of that has to do with self-acceptance and self-love. And the individual or being that comes to my mind when we're looking at that is Archangel Chamuel, and also Archangel Zadkiel. Archangel Zadkiel helps us with that acceptance. A really big one here, forgiveness. When we accept our role, no matter how active or passive in a situation, forgive, that's a hard thing, forgive ourselves for whatever role we played, and then release the power that that person, event, or situation is controlling you with, or connecting you and binding you down with, is essentially what we've been talking about. That healing of your heart chakra or your heart center. So working with the pair, Archangel Chamuel and Archangel Zadkiel, are very helpful in that self-acceptance and healing. I do have a meditation with Archangel Chamuel, and in July I will be releasing, I don't have a date yet, a meditation that I'm going to be doing with Archangel Zadkiel. You have that ability to call both of them in, asking them to help you with that acceptance, that forgiveness, and that self-love. Working with Archangel Chamuel, his auric color is that light rosy pink, and the crystal that is connected with him most often is the rose quartz. With Archangel Zadkiel, his auric color is amethyst purple, and of course the crystal is amethyst. If you're a crystal person, those are usually two that you have in store. People are attracted to them. Not always sure why, but they're important crystals because they're going to also help with that healing. Like I said before, using those pieces at hand to help you with this obstacle, with this healing, makes things a little easier. So let's go on to the final phase here. What further information and guidance can we share with my picture stone friends for overcoming the challenges and embracing the energies of June 28th through to July 4th? The Empress, the third card in the Major Arcana. That fertile, nurturing energy. The Empress is about that productivity and creativity. When we start to heal ourselves, accept ourselves, and embrace our natural skills and abilities, we are able to bring in more abundance. We are leading a life of authenticity, or at least more authentic than we were. Those baby steps, right? We don't want to just like rip everything off and say, I am an authentic individual. That vulnerability causes great anxiety and great uncertainty, and we recoil and fall back onto those lesser or lower vibrational coping mechanisms. Small baby steps are more maintainable, and you see that shift. More maintainable, so when we are challenged or we have that obstacle, we don't necessarily fall back. We use those tools and skills, those pieces at hand to help us over, because we have that foundation, we have that security in what we're doing. Now, of course, we have the double three, the Empress, the third card in the Major Arcana, and then we also have the Three of Wands. When you have that multiple three, the angels are telling you that something close to your heart needs to be expressed. And that is an understatement, my friends. The Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail. Not forgetting or limiting our intuitional connection, that intuitional direction. Following our higher self, connecting in, and this process is going to help us strengthen that relationship with our higher self, rather than that lower self or ego-driven direction. That Holy Grail in our higher self feeds us right into that Empress of abundance, productivity, and fertility. The Page of Swords. Now we've had air magic here, and I talked about that importance of knowledge. This week is also going to give you different ideas and opportunities, and using our already existing knowledge in new ways. That creativity, that passion, combined with that knowledge, brings unique and amazing results. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy. It's full of play, wonder, and of course, that inquisitive mind. Using those characteristics to embrace and move forward on some of this healing and self-love will support you in a deeper and more meaningful clearing and healing, because you're using skills and abilities that you trust and understand. You're finding new ways to incorporate them into your everyday. We can't be fearful of healing. If we follow that ego model of fearing that unknown, we're never going to get anywhere. We'll stay stagnant, and eventually the tower will start to show up on your reading because we haven't taken that ownership. We haven't taken that responsibility for our healing. Having that inquisitive, playful mind and being open to that release. Being open to feeling lighter and happier, because we're starting to degunk and release some of that weight that's holding you back. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings and healings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my picture stone friends. Hello and welcome, my Tiger Iron friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the Oracle and the Tarot cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, see what the cards have to share for you this week. What does the week of June 28th to July 4th look like for my Tiger Iron friends? Strength and resilience. We've been through a lot in the last 6 months, 9 months. It's been quite the interesting opportunity for learning. It has really shown our inner strength and our resiliencies, showing us where we need added reinforcement and where we need to spend some extra time and energy. Nobody could predict what was truly going to happen. Those who had predicted it years ago. We weren't meant to see this coming. We were meant to be blindsided. When we have a tower situation, the universe, it will give us hints. It will send us on our way or attempt to send us on our way. However, when we ignore them, that's when that tower strike hits. There's usually a bit of silence before that strike. And I know a lot of us were really having challenges over the beginning part of the year to connect in. I had a lot of students and clients saying that they felt like they were back to square one. That boom was meant to shake us. Now we can see where our true foundations lie and where we need to rebuild. Accept love. Many of us are still in that fear and heartache mode because after the virus came in, we've had this injustice come forward that had been there for generations. That generational trauma and pain is very real, especially as that pain and intolerance and hatred continues to this day. Rather than focusing in on that hate and fear, we need to start to accept love and light. When we're focusing from a love and light, we're not looking at a person's skin color, we're not looking at their religion, their creed, their background. We are projecting that energy from our heart center that is of love and happiness, joy. There is no questioning whether or not they deserve it. It's unconditional. That's where we need to start to work towards as a species. And the only way we can do that is start to individually take responsibility and then make action on it. Whether or not you've ever participated in some of these injustice or been a silent bystander, or in some cases, been a bystander through social media. Shifting our gears out of focusing in on the hate and the fear, focusing in on the love and the light will help cause a shift that can't be stopped. Because when we focus in on that unconditional loving energy, so do others. Like-minded individuals start banding together. And before you know it, it's a majority rather than a minority. So let's look at this week. Let's look at how we're going to be able to rebuild some of these foundations, strengthen where we need, and most importantly, focusing in on that unconditional loving energy. What can my Tiger Iron friends expect from the beginning of the week? Before I get into this card, I was just looking at the dynamics. A good reader looks at the pictures because pictures, whether or not you know tarot or oracle, say a lot. You can see the wind swiping around this one witch. Could you imagine the difference in the outcome should this have been whirling around her, embracing her, rather than that destructive fear and intolerance? We have the Five of Cups for the beginning of the week. Now the Five of Cups is that quintessential focusing in on that wrong element or aspect. focusing in on that lower vibrational fear and hatred, rather than what the universe has been suggesting and offering to us for, well, a long time now. It's about doing that 180. It's about slowing down and being mindful of those messages, that direction and wisdom that the universe and high vibrational beings are trying to share with us. We can't keep doing things the same. We know we need to shift. We know the universe is saying very clearly, this is not for your greater and best good. We need to make those shifts so that we are in line with that fulfillment, that joy, and most importantly, that love. The beginning of the week is going to give us that opportunity to reflect on our situation. And we do need to be very critical. The more critical we are, and I don't mean self-badgering and self-defeatist, I mean very critical, being very poignant about what's happening, how you're feeling, what messages, what symbols keep repeating in your life. This isn't about that negativity, that low vibrational fear or anger. We need to get out of that emotional center and take stock. What has happened? Where are your strengths? Where do we need to start to build up and reinforce? Those are key elements on how we're going to be able to go forward, how we're able to amplify and incorporate that unconditional loving energy into our lives and then back into the lives of others. And what about the middle of the week? What does the middle of the week bring? My tiger iron friends. The Four of Cups. We're still going to be in pretty much the same space we are at the beginning of the week. That reflection. We know what we have in our lives. We know we're missing something. We may have stopped that mourning and fear-based functioning, but we're still kind of lost and confused. Yes, more reflection is needed and insight into that holy grail. The universe, the high vibrational beings, have been trying to get your attention. During this first part of the week, middle part of the week, fantastic times to reach out. No matter what your skill level is with your clairs, you can start to work on them. You can ask your guardian angel, the archangels, the fairies, whomever you feel most connected with, whoever resonates with you the most. Ask them to come to you while you're sleeping. That way your ego is not going to play up, is not going to cause that challenge or resistance to share that information that you've been missing. What's been presented to you? What are you missing? Then ask them to help you remember when you wake up. Ensuring before you go to bed that you have pen and paper or pencil and paper right beside your bed. Don't try and use your phone because your ego can help you with misplacing or not saving or recording or however you want to do it, that information. I encourage my students and clients to get that spiritual journal. They're relatively easy to find. Doesn't have to be an expensive book, just a notebook. And start to write down what you remember. Then being observant to seeing the patterns, those repeated pieces that keep coming up in your day. That's when you're going to start to connect those dots. What about the end of the week? What does the end of the week bring? My tiger iron friends. The Hermit. the 9th card in the Major Arcana. It's a card of inner reflection. This week really is about that reflection piece. We don't have movement cards here. We have that reflection and that understanding on how we need to go forward, how we can shift from that low vibrational functioning to a higher vibrational functioning, incorporating that unconditional loving energy into our everyday, raising and amplifying our vibration to a higher or even higher vibration for our greater good that will positively impact those around us. When you are talking to somebody who is high vibrational, they help to lift us up. They help to shift out that low gunk and bring us more in alignment with where we need to be. So we start to raise our vibration. And that individual that inspired us is positively rewarded by that influx of positive energy into their community, into their lives. So their vibration scooches up a little bit more. It's a very positive situation to be in when you have multiple people starting to raise their vibration together, because it reinforces and supports that growth and starts to amplify that positive, helpful energy to everyone around them. So let's look at the challenge this week. What challenge will my Tiger Iron friends face for the week of June 28th through to July 4th? The 8 of Swords. That anxiety and fear card. The depression and sadness. Our ego is gonna hate this. Reflection? Not a word your ego likes. Reflection means that you're going to shift, you're going to change. That's what this week is leading up to. Some inner shifting, and it doesn't have to be major shifts. I actually encourage people not to do those major jumps and leaps. Yes, sometimes a leap of faith is needed. However, if you're taking too many leaps and jumps, you don't have the foundation or the stability in what you're doing, and you can easily crash back and revert to lesser and lower vibrational coping mechanisms. So you kind of fall back off your path. With small, steady steps, we're more able to sustain and create foundation under what we're doing, under the shifts and changes we are making. So we don't revert or fall as far because we feel stable in what we're doing. So your ego going to play up on those fears, those anxieties, those worries, those heartaches to try and slow you down. Try and misdirect you off this course of reflection, because the less time you spend reflecting, the less dots you're going to connect and the less change that will ensue afterwards. And then with him, the King of Pentacles. Because we are looking at a time of reflection on where we need to build up and strengthen, focusing in on that unconditional loving energy, our ego is going to kind of fearmonger that there isn't the abundance there. Whereas when you take that critical stance and really look at the situation, look at when you've had the most abundance in your life, when you were able to manifest everything and anything you wanted. That was during a time of high vibration. You believed in yourself, you believed in your abilities. Now, it's going to be an easy switch to turn the king to an ally this week. The more we're able to connect the dots, the more we're able to bring in even more abundance. Like I said earlier, once you start to raise your vibration and you share that unconditional loving energy with those around you, inspiring them to move forward because you are embracing your passions. Things are starting to fall into place because you're connecting the dots. That abundance is going to come forward. Now, some of it's going to be that monetary abundance, but it will also come forward in other aspects, in all aspects of our lives. There is abundance everywhere. We just don't always take the time to reflect on the different areas of our lives. All right, let's get into some blessings. What blessing can my Tiger Iron friends embrace for the beginning of the week? Now, one area of abundance that just came to me as I'm looking at these cards, not only is the abundance of knowledge about self and situation, however, we're also looking at that cup, that intuitive energy, and our intuitive skills. We're going to be trying to tap into those skills, no matter what your skill level is at. Taking that time and working on them starts to make that progression and strengthens those skills, strengthens your understanding of how to use them. That knowledge set and skill set becomes more abundant and reliant for you, creating even more abundance because you're going to connect a lot more dots as you go forward, especially if we have that guidance and support from the higher vibrational beings. So for the beginning of the week, give in to passion. Rather than focusing in on that pain, on that fear, focusing in on those pieces, those skills, those talents that bring you joy, that bring you happiness. The one way we can connect in to that unconditional love is by sharing our passions and our creativity. And yes, we all have very unique passions. Our creativity is shown in different ways. And that's what makes us so fantastic. No matter how you express your creativity, what your passion is, when we're looking at that high vibrational energy of love, and you're embracing this passion that is for your greater good, that's when that vibration automatically rises, and you will inadvertently start to build on and strengthen areas of love and light that will help you protect yourselves in times of need and strain. What about the middle of the week? What does the middle of the week bring my Tiger Iron friends? Affirmation for posture change. I love this card. Not only do I think it's great that this person, this woman, decided to get out of the frilly dress, get into the pirate outfit, and go on her adventures, it's a very important message. When we're feeling defeated, scared, alone, uncertain, we turtle ourselves. We hunch our shoulders. We recluse ourselves. The middle of the week, we need to start to being mindful of that. Loving ourselves, loving where we are, no matter what changes we know we want to make, where we're supposed to be. So embrace that, learn from that, and continue moving forward. Being mindful that we roll our shoulders back, we stand up tall, and we hold our head up, and we look to that next beautiful sunrise, that adventure, that rainbow. When we change and shift the way we stand, the way we walk, we start to uncoil and unfurl and unknot our chakras, allowing for better energy flow and giving us more of an ability to overcome whatever it is we need to. no matter how scary or sad we may feel. We know we've got this, and that energy is flowing to help us with overcoming it. Woo. What about the end of the week? What blessing can my tiger iron friends embrace at the end of the week? Tears of joy and sadness. Near the end of the week, especially as we give ourselves more time for reflection and understanding, we're going to start to release some of this built up frustration, built up energy. Can it come in the form of tears? Absolutely. Are you sad? In some way. Are you happy? In some way. Allowing that energy to be released is essential. Whether it is you cry, you can also do some amazing visualizations on detoxing that energy buildup through running water. It's up to us to take ownership and responsibility for our bodies and our lives. We need to take that front row director seat in healing ourselves and moving forward. And part of that healing is definitely that release. And that release needs to resonate with you so that you are able to purge that buildup. Let's go on to some final thoughts, wisdom, and guidance that we have for my tiger iron friends for overcoming the challenges and embracing the energies for the week of June 28th to July 4th. Now, as I was shuffling, many of it you may not have the resources on purging through water. Another way you can purge, I have my library of meditations I've done with the archangels. They're healing meditations. That is a fantastic resource in helping on removing and excreting those built up energies, that built up yuck. That release is essential. One that's coming to mind right away is Archangel Metatron. He's fantastic at releasing some of that gunk and buildup. Going through and connecting in with whichever one resonates with you. The archangels are there to help and support us. We just need to ask. It's the key piece. We have the Queen of Pentacles. I just said that we need to look at that healing and that nurturing. Those meditations with the archangels are a fantastic way. They're short pieces that we can help to reground and restabilize ourselves, release what's built up. I just did a meditation with Archangel Sandalphon about bringing in more balance and harmony into your life. That nurturing and love needs to start with us. We need that motherly touch towards ourselves before we can support and help others. Another piece that the Queen of Pentacles is encouraging us to spend some time with this week is that grounding. When we're looking at that reflection and working with our clairs, it's essential that we have that grounding support and stability. Because when we're looking at working in the spiritual, we can have physical symptoms. We can start to feel nauseous and dizzy. We can feel very disorientated. Some people feel almost drunk because they're not stable. The room feels really kind of wobbly. That grounding, centered energy will help with that connection and understanding. Helps to connect those dots, then will help us to start to make some movement and progression. Working with those passions, working on and nurturing and really connecting in and owning ourselves and then that release. That release needs to happen. It's a big part of our healing. The Eight of Wands. Now, eights are a movement and manifestation card. I know you can't see it so much in the Eight of Swords. In the Eight of Wands, you see a little bit more movement. I like this rendition of the Eight of Wands. The original Eight of Wands is kind of hard to interpret. You have to read into that card. Pamela Coleman Smith originally drew 8 wands, and it can kind of sometimes look like a fence. However, they're 8 wands descending from the heavens to the earth. So I said you have to read into that. That movement from the heavens down, that wisdom and insight to help you connect into that passion and creativity and incorporating it into our everyday to make some progression. Eights are about movement. This Eight of Wands does talk about how sometimes that feels really chaotic. We have so much going on, so much encouragement, so much of this amazing, unconditional loving energy, and that can feel a little overwhelming at times. That grounded energy will help, taking it slow and steady, and making sure we're writing down some of this insight to help bring down those wands, help understand that guidance and that wisdom that needs to be shared with us so that we can incorporate it into our everyday. So it does help us feel stronger. Now, of course, we have that double 8. In angel messages, the angels are encouraging you to stay true to your passions because abundance is coming your way. So again, that king can easily be turned into an ally rather than an obstacle. And finally, the Three of Wands. I said initially at the beginning here that you didn't have any movement cards. This in itself is movement. When we start to connect those dots and get those aha moments, making small shifts and being conscious in that unconditional loving energy and in our passions and starting to incorporate them in and strengthening ourselves and healing ourselves. It's actually a lot of movement, but you're not going to feel it so physically. Actually, I take that back. You will feel it physically because when we start to heal ourselves, we start to feel stronger. We feel better. Yes, when you're looking at an energetic heal, physically you won't see it. Most medical doctors can't see that energetic shift. But boy, can you feel it. Your shoulders feel lighter. They may be a little bit achy, but they feel lighter. You feel more confident in yourself and your abilities. You feel like nothing can stop you. And that movement that the Three of Wands talks about is going to be there, especially as we start to heal at the latter part of the week. Don't be surprised if you have a lot of these epiphanies and ahas that are going to help you kind of stumble into something new, help you to open new doors, help you to get excited about things. Finding that fulfillment and, of course, that abundance. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings and healings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Tiger Iron friends.